as I mentioned, we're here representing Empowered for X and the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. We're discussing funding and grant opportunities. We're going to be touching on both for-profit and nonprofit grants. For myself, if you don't know me, my name is Ryan Knight. I consider myself a serial social entrepreneur. We started companies such as Detailing Nights, Service Kingdom, the Executives Power Up, and the Black Panthers Cage, which is a secret. So that one, stay tuned. I'm also the co-founder of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network and the current co-executive director. And really, we exist to help entrepreneurs and also nonprofit organizational leaders win. And being part of the nonprofit world now, you get an interesting perspective on how it works. And I feel collaboration is key. So that's the mantra that we really talk about. So you'll see how it can aid in grant development as well in a sec. When I'm inside of Empowered for X, it's a physical co-working space here in Brampton. So please feel free. Actually, next Tuesday, we are doing a lunch and learn. So if you want to come and hang out in person, ask some business questions or even maybe grant questions, we are going to be here serving some food and talking about businesses. So would love to see you in person. The mission is to create the right ecosystem around entrepreneurs in our community so that any support that you need, we're able to plug you in and also become your project team. So if you need marketing strategy and execution, you're able to have a team to do that for you. So Empowered for X is really building up that support system. And real quick, I want to shout out to our partners, Chorus Alterna Savings, Sheridan Edge, which is the entrepreneurship discovery and growth engine, Dream Legacy Foundation that works a lot with Black tech talent, and they have various amazing initiatives, but we always send our tech talent to them. They've started a program with Ryerson called the Black Innovation Fellowship, the Black Innovation Fund, and they plug people into the DMZ to help with their tech startups. Calabash, and they are an cooperative of expert service providers in the community. So if you are a service provider, please connect with Calabash. You can go to their website, calabash.global, sign up to be one of the vendors and join the cooperative because we are actively looking for opportunities for you to be paired with nonprofits and for-profits that need your services. Real quick, SETC, ZSC, the Toronto Community Benefits, and OFC, the One Full Circle up in Montreal. All these organizations that have had our back when we first started and continue to support us on our journey. So I always want to say thank you to that. And really quickly about the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, we started about 4 years ago in 2017, and really was out of a gap that I was seeing as an entrepreneur when we were ready to franchise and expand our company across Canada and internationally. There weren't any Black focused business organizations that we could go to, or I should say I could go to that had it in their mandate to help companies scale. So we brought six other entrepreneurs together to say, could we create an entity that sits down with an entrepreneur, figures out what stage they're in, and then helps them grow their companies exponentially. And thus, the ACBN was born. So far, we've been able to connect with over 4,000 Black entrepreneurs. We're seeing that about 71% of them are female entrepreneurs, and 91% in our database are the business owners or the CEO of the company. But what I'm most proud of is our ability to partner. And why is that spelled wrong? That is unacceptable. Partner, thank you very much. We've been able to partner with over 40 Black focused business organizations across Canada and into the Caribbean and into Africa as well. And now our reach is extended over 20,000 Black entrepreneurs. And so when you're working with us, you're really not just working with ACBN, you're actually working with a full Black entrepreneurship ecosystem that includes Empowered for X and about 40 plus others. So wherever you are, whatever stage you're in, I do believe that the resources there for you. And a couple pillars that we stand on, of course, entrepreneurship. I believe everybody should start a business, especially if you're young and you still live at home. The risk factor is lower, so it's the best time to experiment. But even if you have a full-time job, think about having a side hustle to bring in additional income and you can take advantage of the tax benefits. I believe economic inclusion is powered by entrepreneurship because the barrier to entry is so low. It really levels the playing field. So you could use entrepreneurship to unlock your true potential. And convening, of course, even though this is virtual, I still love us coming together to talk business and funding. And also, we're going to be getting back to in person. As I mentioned, next week, Tuesday, we're going to be doing the in person lunch and learn. Well, it'll be hybrid. We're still going to broadcast some of it online, but we'd love to see you in person. But the real reason that we're here is this access to funding. We've been able to develop our own microloan with Alterna Savings so that we're able to disperse funds to entrepreneurs, but we also can plug you into many different flows of capital. And I always say we need to position ourselves in front of this flow of capital. And to give you an example of some of the funding that we've been able to acquire in the past, and it ranges from pitch competitions like Ignite Capital to city and municipal grants, such as the ones we got through the city of Brampton, provincial grants that we've been able to get through the Ontario Trillium Foundation and the Youth Opportunities Fund, and also federal grants that we were able to get through the Supporting Black Communities Initiative and the Federal Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Fund. And one piece that we want to also touch on is corporations. So corporations like TD being able to support us with funding. There's so many different avenues, and that's why it's really important to create a robust fund development plan. It shouldn't only be just relying on grants or one form of funding. You should have multiple streams. So even if you're a for-profit or nonprofit, you still should have multiple streams of income and revenue. But like I mentioned, I enjoy getting other organizations and other businesses funding. So for example, I usually talk about Rescue Youth International. Abigail Hamilton, a shout out to her, is doing great work working with youth in the justice and education system, but needed support with organizing her grant writing. So we were able to partner with her, found the investment readiness program to help them create a social enterprise. And now that social enterprise will be able to generate income and profits to fund the nonprofit. Custodia, whereas on the other side of the spectrum, they are a for-profit company, but help seniors with their landscaping and helping them stay in their homes longer, operate like a social enterprise. So they too were able to access the investment readiness program. And New Life Project, shout out to Brenda, that's up in Ottawa. Again, not so organized with grant writing, because again, as executive directors or as business owners, it's sometimes difficult to take time and have to research and write and then follow up with grants. So we were able to support her in applying for the Supporting Black Communities Initiative, and she was successful. So just a few examples of organizations and businesses that we've worked with to get them funding, and now we need to get you funding. So typically we have some sessions that go deeper into the grant writing blueprint. We don't have time today on these info sessions, but if you do want a really deep dive, if you join our Grant Hunter University, it's pretty much designed to walk you step by step through the grant writing blueprint. I feel like it's really important because any grant that you write, you're going to see that 80% of them are very similar. So once you have this blueprint done, it makes it a lot easier for you to write any grants that you're looking for. And in there is a video that does an overview. And actually, we'll see if I can find a video that gives you an introduction to it. But for today, we're going to dive deeper into the actual grants that are available. And just before I do, when I send out this slide deck, you're going to see this business benefits finder. So at the federal level, they created a way to explain a little bit about your business, and then it spits out all the different funding that's available to you, whether there's wage subsidies or grants or loan programs. That link will help you navigate that. But for today, I wanted to start jumping into these different grants. So the first one, because we've been waiting a long time for this grant to be announced, the Investment Readiness Program. So if you've been with us from the beginning, you'll know I keep talking about this. And now it is finally available, albeit it's not, I would say, fully available, because last time there was two different, well, actually there was four, but two main intermediaries that were doing the granting. So it was the Canadian Women's Foundation and also the Community Foundations of Canada. So the Community Foundations of Canada one is not open just yet that I've seen, and I'll probably dig a little bit as we're on this to see if it's open, but the Canadian Women's Foundation is. So one thing, it would have to be a woman-led organization, and I believe they focus only on nonprofits. So if you are a nonprofit that is woman-led, definitely check this out. It'll help you create a social enterprise for your organization. And let me get where's the info about it. So you'll see it's due April 27th. You're able to apply for between 47,000 up to 75,000. And let's see their eligibility. Oh my gosh, it's so full. See, the community foundations is a lot more strict. So you do have to be a charity, but for non-charities, you may apply in partnership with a charity. Okay. So if you're a sole proprietor, you're not eligible. So if you're going to partner with a charity, you do have to be a nonprofit or incorporated as a social enterprise. You can't be a sole proprietor. And then they have different streams. So the impact stream is the one that's open right now. And the catalyst stream is coming soon. So let's see the difference. So impact, they have or intend to develop, launch, grow, or scale a social enterprise that plans to generate revenue. Okay. They have intent to explore. Okay. Catalyst stream, they have intent to develop. That sounds the same. What's different from the sale of goods and sort of that? That's the same. Seed funding designed for smaller scale projects or one component. Okay. And they have a third one, a systems change stream. Oh boy. Well, since they're not open, we don't have to go too deep into those ones. But if you have a social enterprise and want to go a women-led social enterprise, if you're a for-profit company, definitely start to think about what other charities might align with what you're doing, because typically charities don't have social enterprises. So you'd be able to collaborate with them to now bring your business idea with them leading the application in order to fully launch this social enterprise, or at least amplify what you're doing. You know what? We should start making a list of charities in the community that could use that support. So that is homework for me. Tiana, remember to tell me I have that homework. But this link I will put into the chat so that way you're able to check it out yourself. And so since this one is open, the other grants are going to be open as well. And Don G, I saw you're asking about Grant Hunter University. I'll put the link so you can check it out.
Thank you.
No worries. And then we'll continue with the show. So as I'm switching to the next available fund, our funding, if anybody has questions, feel free, unmute and ask. Otherwise, I will keep going. Okay, so the next one. Toronto Enterprise Fund. They had, so they too also work with social enterprises. So you'll see I'm very keen on social enterprise. And for those that are new to the concept, it's really a sweet spot in between nonprofits and for-profits. So if you're a nonprofit, any income generating activities that you do through the sales of goods or services would be considered a social enterprise. But if you're a for-profit, it depends on the positive social impact that you're having in the community based on either how you use your profits or how you run the business. That could be through hiring and what have you, or process. Then you'd be a social enterprise as well. So the government of Canada is really focusing on trying to make more social enterprises and actually amplify their impact. So they created the Social Finance Fund that was an $800 million pool of capital that they wanted to invest directly into social enterprises. What they found was that not a lot of social enterprises were ready for investment of hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. So they carved out 50 million to then create the investment readiness program. So the investment readiness program is a grant you can get between 10,000 to 100,000. You saw with the Canadian Women's Foundation, it was between 45,000 to 75,000. But the Community Foundations of Canada has the bigger spread, I guess you could say. And it really helps you fine tune your either current social enterprise or one that you're developing so that you can be prepared for investment in the future. So it's like the first step to now unlocking the bigger pool of capital through the Social Finance Fund. But the Toronto Community Foundation, oh my gosh, the Toronto Enterprise Fund is for employment-focused social enterprises. So that's where if you're hiring from a specific population in the community that's having difficulty getting employment, you'd be considered an employment social enterprise. And they had two streams where you can get, I think it was called the Catalyzing Grant, which is $10,000 to help you finish your business plan and your feasibility study. And then a scale-up, or sorry, a startup grant that helped you launch the actual social enterprise. So I'll put this link into the chat as well. It doesn't look like it is open, but they usually have at least 2 to 3 grants every 2 to 3 cohorts every year. But I don't see one just yet. Let's see what this says. So these are the grants over here. So the catalyzing. So yeah, you go through a workshop, but let me see if it's open. Okay, so that was March 1st. So it does look like it's open, but I wonder when the application was due. Because if they did the info session March 1st, it might have closed in March. All right, so I will find out if this is still open, and then we'll put that into the follow-up email so that you can sign up. And now I need to touch on Digital Main Street. So if you're a nonprofit, bear with me. I need to touch on this for-profit grant really quickly because spaces are filling up. So if you're on with us before and you heard about Digital Main Street and you have not signed up yet, shame on you, and you need to do it while we are on this call. And we even did a full working group about it. So if you want access to the video that walks through the entire process, please follow up with myself or Tiana. Wait, where's the chat? Oh my gosh, this thing is blocking the chat. Oh, here we go. So this link is to the Digital Main Street Raise program, and you can get up to $10,000 for your business. And RAISE stands for the Racialized and Indigenous Support for Entrepreneurs. So you'll see there's 2 steps. First step is to create an account. Once you have an account, second step is to fill out their intake form. So once you do that, it plugs you into the Parkdale Innovation Program. They're the ones that are facilitating the actual workshops and the coaching. So they walk you through their onboarding. But the last info session that they had, they said they're already filling up for April and May, and June and July, I believe, are the last 2 cohort months for the year because they only have $5 million at 10,000 each. That's about 500 grants to give out. They're going to blow through that really quickly. So if you're interested in getting this $10,000, please, the link is in the chat. Take time to create your account and sign up. At least that gets you in the queue so that you don't miss it. And while you're working on that, you might as well also sign up for their other grants. That is the Canada Digital Adoption Program. And this one's a lot simpler. You just click here to sign up and put in your contact info. Let me see. Yeah, so you actually don't even have to log in to sign up for it. So this one I'll put into the chat as well. and it allows you to get $2,400 to help with your online marketing. So these two, do not miss it. If for some reason you get stuck, please email me or email connect@empoweredforx.com, and we will help you through it. But it's pretty straightforward. And yeah, the first cohort for April is already starting, so you don't want to miss. They should be, I think May still has some spots, but it's definitely filling up quickly. All right. So before I go into BAIDS and the Black Opportunity Fund, I did want to touch on the Black Youth Action Plan, because a lot of it is due very soon. All right. So the Black Youth Action Plan actually had 3 different components. So this one was geared more towards nonprofit, but this is again where I talk about collaboration. So my for-profit company was able to partner with a nonprofit to be able to put in an application. This is what, if you're a for-profit company, think about different nonprofits. You should already be building relationships with nonprofits that align with your mission, so that when opportunities like these come up, you're able to apply for it as a collaborative application. And so you'll see they had 3 streams. I know Career Launch has passed. Career Advance is due today. Is that today? Oh dear. So it's due today. But the Sector Innovation Networks is due April the 20th. And you'll see, actually, I did not know for-profit organizations can apply for this. So if you're for-profit, hey, I still would say collaborate, but you are able to at minimum apply, but there is a process to it. So if you're interested, of course, the one today that's due today wouldn't work. But for the Sector Innovation Networks, you'll see to apply for anything, you need to create a login to the Transfer Payment Ontario. So we are going to be doing a working group about the Black Youth Action Plan next Thursday. So if you're interested in this application, it's amazing to see that it's for both nonprofits and for-profits. We're going to do a deep dive. You have to understand how to get your one key from Ontario, and then the portal that you have to apply through. There's a bit to it. And the reason that it's good to go through it is because if you see all of these grants that the Ontario government has, at any given time, you could qualify for 2 to 5 of these grants, maybe even more. So once you do the front-loaded heavy lifting and you've gone through the process at least once, now it opens you up to all of these other types of grants that are open that might match what you're able to execute, and you'd have an easier time to apply for it. So, and the Black Youth Action Plan, I believe, is multi-year. I've seen it come out a couple times. So this is where, hey, it's going to be some heavy lifting. If you want to do the heavy lifting with us, we're going to be going through it on Thursday next week, and that should be at 1 o'clock as well. So definitely keep that in mind. And actually, Tiana, oh, did you put the link to the Thursday session? No, I've never seen an age restriction for the Ontario grants. And I know the Ontario Trillium Foundation, they have the Youth Opportunities Fund, which is specifically designed for under 30. And I'll go into it so that you see when this one is due. They are accepting expression of interest by August 24th. So although you have time, definitely use the time now to get as much support as you need. This is where the grant writing blueprint would help, because going through a lot of the blueprint, it will answer the questions that are going to be asked of you in this expression of interest. So if this is your first time ever applying for the Youth Opportunities Fund, it isn't one of the easiest ones to get, but it does really cut your teeth and fine tune you for the world of grants. Everything and anything that a grant funder will ask of you, the Ontario government will ask. So if you're able to go through this process, you're in good shape to start writing additional grants for other funds. All right. And again, the slide deck will be shared as well. So all these links, really, I'm putting the ones in the chat that you need to action. So don't sleep on the ones that I put in the chat, and also Tiana. So you'll see really quickly, if you are under 30, I always tell people, do not miss the summer company grant. You can get $3,000 to work on your business during the summer. And this one, you have to register through one of the entrepreneur centers. So if you're in Brampton, they have the Brampton Entrepreneur Center that's downtown. Mississauga has the Mississauga, Beck, and Toronto, same thing. So whichever city you're in, you just need to find the Entrepreneur Center and apply through them. I think each of them do have different dates, and they'll say, like, because each Entrepreneur Center uses different dates. So the deadline, you'd have to find out from the Entrepreneur Center that's in your area. And you'll see with the 3,000, they give you $1,500 up front and then $1,500 at the end of the program. So if you qualify for this one, do not miss it. All right. Now, one of my favorite grants is the BBPA Bates program, mainly because a lot of times we need the money in order to execute certain areas of our business. So whether it's finishing your business plan or creating a proper marketing strategy, doing the execution of that marketing strategy, or fine-tuning our books and getting our accounting and bookkeeping in order. What the BBPA Bates program does is it allows you to bring on a service provider that would do those things for you, and then the service provider bills the BBPA. So the BBPA then covers the cost of that service that you needed, and you didn't have to come out of pocket. So you'll see out of these different services, like I mentioned, business planning, accounting, even helping you register your business. So if you want to get incorporated, you could use this program, and doing loan applications. And also, I noticed it says loan applications, but it used to also say grants. So let me see if they're still covering your ability to have grants done for you. And you'll see it's a pretty straightforward initial application, asking your name, contact info, upload your photo ID, name of business, what stage you're in, employees, industry, website, principal activities. And so in the working group, you'll remember this question you're going to get every single time. So you should use something like a Google Keep, where you have a brief description of your business at the ready. So let's see, what do we have here? So this business overview, if you've done it once, it should be done. So a lot of times I see clients get stuck at a question that should be very simple, but because you're always starting from scratch and trying to remember what do you do, what's a great way to say it. Once you do it once, make sure and save it, then you can add to it as you go. But I was looking for, and then the story of your business, yes. So these services, you see this? Yes. So they do still cover grant writing. So what I say is use this grant to be able to bring on a service provider that does grant writing, and then that person will help you write and obtain additional grants. So it's a way to really stack on different resources in order to get funding into your business and into your nonprofit. And then from there, you should be able to launch a fine-tuned business or social enterprise and be able to be sustainable. But it's a great way to kickstart the beginning of your business, or at least to get you comfortable with obtaining grants, because doing it on your own sometimes gets very tedious. And they do, before you could pick 3 projects, I think right now they only allow you to pick 1. I don't know if they've kept that. You can still do 3 over your lifetime, or if it's just 1, but this program is good. And again, it is very straightforward. I'm putting this link into the chat. It is your homework for later today. Definitely get this one done so that you can get into the queue. I know at one point they were backed up, but slowly but surely they're getting through the applications. You want yours to be in there so that they can contact you as soon as possible. All right. And the last one for the grant that I'll put, the Business Blueprint website is part of our Grant Hunter University. So Grant Hunter U should take you there, and then it'll give you a bit more information. So the Black Opportunity Fund was able to partner with CIBC and the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce to create this Black Entrepreneur Program. Now, the program is technically tied to a loan program. So with CIBC, you would apply for a loan between, I think it starts at 5,000 and goes all the way up to 250,000. But if you're not quite ready for the loan, they would plug you into the grant program, which is up to $2,000, and you're able to go through, oh, here we go, different programming, whether it's to help you complete your business plan or help you with your personal credit or with your business operations. You're able, and if you're a food entrepreneur, they do have a program for that. And then as you complete different milestones, you're able to get additional grant funding. And it's designed to prepare you now to go back and get the loan application that you had put in. So, but if you just want to go directly to the grant, when you do apply, you'll see it does take you to the CIBC website. And you can start your loan application. That's where you're going to see, oh, I thought I was here for a grant. So the loan process does take you there. When you put in your contact info, pretty much if you don't have your financial statements or if you don't have your business plan ready, then it would, I guess, triage you into the grant program. You would still get a call from a CIBC rep, and then they will let you know, hey, we do have supports to get those things done for you. You can go into the grant program, and so you get the grant dollars and the support for your business. So I like how they've structured that one. All right. And so to touch on briefly the other loan focused programs. So ACBN, of course, we've created our own microloan program. So what I usually say is based on these four down here, which is the Alterna and BDC program, RBC created a Black Entrepreneurship Program, CIBC and Bank of Montreal. Usually I tell people to apply for all four. The criteria is very similar. If you have all those documents that they need, apply and see who gets you to the finish line first. If you're not quite ready for these loans to the bigger banks, that's where you'd come back to, let's say, ACBN if you only need less than 25,000. Access Community Capital Fund goes up to 5,000. Rise Asset Development, they go up to 10,000. The FACE Coalition, they go between 10,000 also to 250. Although if you're a new startup, like under 2 years of operations, you're capped at 50,000, and Futurepreneur also goes up to 60,000. So those are programs that really help you get the foundation that you can now plug into the bigger programs. If you're already good to go and can put together your business plan and your financial statements, I would suggest going straight to one of the bigger banks first, and then coming back to one of the focused programs if you're not able to get funding. All right, and yes, so the slide deck will be shared and it has all of the links in there. All right, and really quick, as I'm closing, I want to give some time for questions. We want to make sure that you do not miss the money. And that's where I always talk about the money is out there and flowing, but we want to position you in front of that flow of money. And a lot of times it becomes overwhelming. So we do like have our services where if you just want a project team to be your grant researcher and grant writer, we're able to handle that here at Empowered4X. But really, I just want to see you win. If you're a business owner or an executive director, getting funding and capital is the lifeblood of your business. And I believe grants can be a big part of that. And of course, loans is another faster access to capital, but grants and loans together can really amplify your business if done right. So as I close for this session, I am so happy to be working with you. I'm just happy that you showed up, because now that you have this information, really the excuse that the money is not out there shouldn't exist. It's just now, how do you get prepared and get those applications in so that you don't miss the money? So now I will pause. I did see a question come in. Best way to connect, right here, this screen. Probably my WhatsApp number is the most direct. So you can add me to WhatsApp or send me an email if you have specific questions, and we can schedule a time to chat. But we're here every other Wednesday. So if you know somebody that missed this, that could use the information, please share with them that we're going to be doing this session again in 2 weeks. And maybe more grants will be available. It might be these ones, but if you want help with the Black Youth Action Plan, we're going to be working on that next Thursday. And learning how to navigate the Ontario government's granting system is intense, but worth it, because not a lot of people get to the finish line with it. So if you do, you're in short company. All right, so let me stop sharing. Actually, I'll put this into the chat too, just so you don't lose it as I'm watching. All right. Cool, cool. So I'll check through, or Tiana, did you want to check the chat for any questions? Or if somebody wanted to unmute and ask away, the floor is yours.
I would like to ask, Ryan,
Yes.
is there a way, or is there a program within your network that you can join that will keep you up to speed with, like, when you're providing these classes, or anything that we may need to know as entrepreneurs to better ourselves?
Yeah, definitely to keep you in the loop. You would be included in our newsletter since you did come today. Beyond that, really, like being a member of either Empowered for X or ACBN, that plugs you in, I would say, deeper into like one-on-one sessions, so we can talk to you about specifically your business. And then also, yeah, anything that's happening, you'd be kept in the loop for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I did see a hand up with Adulis. Do you want to unmute?
Hey Ryan, how you doing, man?
Very good.
Thank you for all this value, man. I'm overwhelmed in a good way.
Excellent.
It's like, yo, you're the DJ Khaled of grants, or you got the keys, brother. So I'm excited. And is it possible, because to share that slideshow, because these links, I'm missing all of them, and I'm running around, and I really don't want to miss out on everything that you said. Would love to.
So
Okay.
the follow-up email will have the slide deck in it.
Awesome. So the question I have for you is, this is how I'm thinking about loans specifically, and I would love to get your feedback on this. Okay. So, the stats out there regarding business failure within the first 5 years is that 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. These are the numbers.
Right.
And so I am hesitant regarding loans, because obviously I believe in my business. I believe in every business owner, I believe, believes in the business, but you get a loan. Let's say you borrow 50 grand and then your business fails after a couple of years, then you're stuck with that 50 grand for however long it takes you to pay it. And that would sting to another level if your business fails, but now you got this 50, whatever you borrowed is something you have to pay for however long it takes you. So is that accurate of my assessment or about that type of stuff? This stuff obviously happens, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you're totally right. It is, I don't want to call it a leap of faith, because before you would take on that money, you really would want to set yourself up for the best chance possible. And again, really anything can happen, but now look at the two scenarios. There's one scenario where, so in both scenarios, 100% you're going to be running your business. But in one scenario, you dip into your savings, you max out your credit cards, and you try the thing. And then the other scenario is where you are using other people's money, which is the bank or one of the loan programs. And again, you're launching the business. When the business is starting to get rocky, if if you maxed out all your credit cards and maxed out your savings and spent it all, you have nothing to fall back on. But if you're using a loan, and again, it could be as small as like 500 up to 5,000 to start with, gain some momentum. If you hit on rocky times, you still have your savings to kind of keep the business going, to catch back your breath. But that's where I see a lot of entrepreneurs that I work with have gone down the path of just spending all their savings, maxing out their credit cards, and now they're totally stuck because they have no buffer. So what I encourage is that look at what a loan could do. And again, between loans and grants, loans are, I'd say, faster capital. You can get it within a month. With grants, it's typically a 3 to 6 month window, and it's not guaranteed. So when you do have that loan, plug into the supports that come with it. And before, I would say they may not have existed. Now they do. So us working alongside you to create the business plan, create the cash flow projections, plug you into our network. Hey, maybe we can find people that want to buy what you have. Now I feel like you're more empowered to start that business, and you haven't risked it all. It's like you have buffer and a support system. So hey, that 80%, if we can get it down to 50 or even lower, now we're more confident to say, hey, if you get this 5, 25, 50 grand from us, you have a 80% chance of succeeding instead of it being the other way around.
Yeah, I understand. Basically, typically back in the day or a few years ago, if you were to get a loan from a bank, you just, obviously you submit your business case and all that, but you had there was no mentorship, no coaching, no guide, no network built in with that loan. But now there is that opportunity, which increases your chance of success and support to help you out, so you're not alone. I understand. Yeah.
Like the bank doesn't have any solid way of assessing business plans. So really they would just look at your credit. Do you have a house to back it? And they would give you money. So a lot of bad ideas get funded and then they fail. So that adds to that 80%. So yeah, just like you were saying, there wasn't a real good wraparound support before.
Okay. But there's nothing wrong if my view is like, hey, I'm going to a minimal viable product. I want to make some money. I want to get some cash. I want to do sales or get grants and just stick to that. And I'm just, obviously there's no wrong way to do this stuff. So I think that's my mindset is right now, man, I rather get a sale, or can I sell this? Can I get a client to sign on board before I do anything else or whatever,
Yeah, you have to start there. And that's where, because now there's more grants for profits than before, you can get certain grants that'll help you with that initial phase. Because yes, bootstrapping and doing it from scratch is really, I would say, it's like, I wouldn't say the best way. It'd be better to have a uncle that can give you 150 and you still scrap it out. But if you don't have it, you have to do it anyway. The grants will help soften that blow a little bit.
Okay. And another quick question, the one key regarding the Ontario government website, because I did have to get a one key when I registered my business. Is that the same one key, or is that something else?
Yeah, that one was probably with the federal government for your CRA, because they have a key for that one as well. The key for the Ontario one is for the grant applications.
No, I mean, like when I registered as a sole proprietor, when I got my master's business license, that cost like $60.
Right.
I had to apply for one key. I remember I believe it was through the Ontario government website. So you're saying that's not the same thing as whatever this youth grant thing, or no?
Yeah, from what I understand, that key you initially get is for your CRA, for your tax filings.
Okay.
Yeah. Question came in about the Black Venture Institute. I registered and got an email, but it was after the deadline. Yeah, so I'm not specifically connected to them. We're part of the same ecosystem. So I'm not sure exactly their process for bringing in people. If you did get it in, if it was after the deadline, I'd have to see we'd have to see how tough they are with their deadlines. But yeah, so I don't have any insider info on that work. But I'm glad that you signed up, because I think they have a great program.
Thank you.
No
Um,
problem.
What exactly, I know you talked about what you would be going over with the grant writing session next Thursday,
Mhm.
but I missed some of it. Could you just retouch on what you're going to be going through with that?
Yeah, so the Black Youth Action Plan, if people are interested in applying for that grant, we're going to be doing a deeper dive into it, see like what all the questions are, start answering some of the questions, and the process to get your Ontario key that you need to also apply for those grants. So we're going to do a deeper dive into that one.
So that's the one where it's for 30 and under?
No, it's for programs that support 30 and under, but you don't have to be that age to apply.
Okay, so if you're over 30 and you apply, I know you were saying that you're gonna be going through that one, but is there a benefit if we're over 30 and we come to this grant class?
Yeah, well, it's still open. So if you're interested in that specific grant, I would come to that class.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for putting this on. Like, people don't do this. We need this. So I appreciate you.
And thank you for that. And I just hope to bring value because I see how much money is being given out and we keep missing it. So if this helps more of us get it, then yeah, that's a win for me.
Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you.
Cool. All right. So I can give everyone back 8 minutes of their day, unless there's any last call for questions. Let me just check through the chat, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Somebody is saying, can you share the slideshow? Yes. Link to the Black Community Fund. I can do that. Let's see, where did I put it? All right, so the person that asked for the Black Opportunity Fund, here you go. All right, sweet. So again, I always say thank you so much for taking time. I enjoy being able to share what money is out there and how to prepare ourselves to get it. So, but if you need deeper support or just more guidance, we're always here. We have the Grant Hunter University. We can become your grant writers or just keep showing up for these info sessions and working groups, and we'll get it done together. So have a good rest of the day. We shall talk to you shortly. Well, next Thursday.
Okay, take care, Ryan.
Good seeing
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brittany. Much appreciated.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh, Ryan, I do have a question.
Sure.
Am I unmuted? Yeah. Okay. It's Sophia. Still trying to connect with you so that we can have that conversation. Should
Let
I?
me check my calendar. We'll book it right now. What's your calendar look like?
So today is Wednesday. If you have any available spots today, I'm good. And if not, then it would be next week. My work week is kind of crazy after this.
Oh, okay. So today at 6 is good.
Okay.
Or, yeah, you want to do today at 6?
Sure.
All right, sweet.
You'll just send me a link or?
Yeah, I think I have your email still. Sophia's house at Gmail.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, I'll talk to you then.
Have a good one.
I'm next, Ryan. Donji,
Hey, Donji, you want to book it too?
please. I was about to log off and then I heard you, Sophia. It's like, oh, I'm on this.
You want to do Friday at 3?
Friday at 3 it is.
Solid.
And
Put your email in the chat so I can put it in here.
Okay, I'll send it to you now.
Hey, Ryan, are you a grant writer yourself as well, or no? Are you just
I feel like I used to
a
be.
curator?
Yeah, now I just I love
You're the
hunting for
DJs at
grants.
grants.
Yeah, I just find them and share. But we've built out the team. Technically, Empowered for X bought my grant writing company, so now they have the powerhouse grant writers. And so if you need somebody to actually do the grants for you, that's where Empowered for X we have the team of grant writers. I'm more, yeah, the grant researcher.
Okay, because I'm in the business planning phases and research right now. And is it cool to book a 5-10 minutes with you just to tell you about what my idea is and what stage I'm in and how?
Yeah, of course.
That'd be awesome.
All right.
I'm gonna log off. Did you get do you see it, my email?
Yes. So
Okay.
you should see the invites shortly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and for doing what you do.
My pleasure. Good seeing you again.
You-
All right, we'll
you
talk
too.
soon.
Take care. Bye.
Ryan, I sent you a message.
Yes, we need to talk about the CIBC, right? Did you already apply for it?
Yes, I was going to.
Okay.
Remember, we've been trying to connect, and you were saying, I don't know if you wanted to do it here right after the call.
Yes, I do have to present at 2 o'clock. Let me see what's happening today. Today's Wednesday. 2. Yeah, are you available later in the evening? Like maybe 6:30?
Sure.
All right. If you put
I'm still here as well too, Ryan. Let me know when you're available.
Perfect. Yeah, can you put your email in the chat and I'll book it with you. And Adulis, I saw yours.
Yeah, I sent you to send it to you, cheddar@thecomeupshow.com.
The Come Up Show. Is that the show that you do right now?
Yes, that's something I've been doing for a minute, and I'm planning a new thing as well too.
Ah, gotcha.
Are you familiar?
No, I have to check it out.
Okay.
Okay, I sent it to you, Ryan, so I'll get something.
Perfect. Yes, one sec. You'll get it now. All right, so you should see that invites. And then I will talk to you at 6:30.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And again, thanks for popping in. And yeah, we'll get that done.
Okay.
I'm in the Chamber Black Business Writing Program today from 6 to 7.
Oh, nice. Is that with Doug?
Yeah, with
Oh, okay, good.
Doug Minter. That's how I know about you guys, or how I heard about it.
Excellent.
Because I was asking them, because I know they do loans. I'm like, hey man, where are the grants at? Who are the people that can connect me to grants?
Yes.
So when can I chat with you?
Oh, let me put it in. It's Friday at 3:30, okay?
Yes.
All right. So you should get this email invite shortly. Cool. Did you get it?
Oh, 1 second. Yes.
That's solid.
So we will get the slideshow or whatever after you're done here today or later today.
Yeah, so the slideshow will have the different links that I was talking about. and then the invitation to next Thursday if you're interested. And oh, the recording of this would be included as well.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Excited
No
to chat with
problem.
you. Appreciate it. You have a good day.
You too. All right, I'll see you on Friday.